Hello everyone, welcome to my channel for Airsoft King 94. So what I am going to talk about today is, as you can see in front of me, I have two different Glock pistols with different manufacturers. The one right here with the chrome slide is going to be the WE G-17, and then the one back here is the KJW KP-17, or also known as the G-17. Anyway, both are Glock replicas, and I just wanted to share with you the compatibility between the two, as they are quite similar from what I noticed when comparing the two in terms of firing, magazine, and I'm even going to try to see if the slides are compatible. So just going right off the gate here, so I have the magazines, which I'm going to take out right now. Both of them are green gas magazines. Both hold the same capacity of rounds, probably about 25 rounds. And I mean, as you can really tell just from looking at it, they are almost identical with how they look. Here, I'm going to focus this for you guys so you can kind of see the tips of them here. So you can really tell that the little pins are the same, the nozzle is the same for the gas to exit through. The artwork here, or these little indents, I mean, other than the one on my right is the WE, has these like 6 dots here, whereas KJ doesn't have it. Mag bases, they're custom. I just bought those, and I mean, they're for the fill nozzle on the bottom. It's basically the same exact thing as the KJ. If we're talking material, the material is a little different. I'll put these on, sorry. If you can tell with the WE, usually it's the more shiny, glossy material, the metal that they use. KJ kind of sticks to the matte black, basically like almost like the KJW WE models. They always roll with the whole matte design for their color scheme on just the entire gun, but this kind of plays the role, you know, on the magazine and the entire gun. So compatibility wise, so here's the KJ magazine. We're gonna go ahead and try to put it inside the WE Glock 17 and see what happens there. Okay, alrighty, so you can kind of tell right away, it looks like it fit just fine in there. Okay, I'm having some kind of a focus problem here. Just a second, sorry. Okay, so just fine now with racking it. So it seems to lock just fine, no issues. Let's see if we can release it. So again, looks like it's released just fine. It met to the end of the lower frame, so nothing is stuck halfway through. Everything is sitting flush with the frame of the gun. So we'll do a quick just to dry fire, just to see if it functions. Okay, so you can tell that's a pass. So this answers any questions with mag compatibility. KJW KP-17 mags will work with the WE G-17. So that's established. Now let's go vice versa. We got the WE mag going into the KJW KP-17. So this is the KJ. Okay, nice and solid click. Everything looks flush. Everything looks to be sitting. It does lock back. I will release that, and again, looks like it's sitting flush. Now we'll do just a few shots to dry fire to see if it functions. And again, this one appears to be a pass as well. Everything seems to cycle smoothly, and compatibility for this works just fine. If you have a KP-17, WE mags will work just fine. Now, the next thing I want to go ahead and try is I'm going to go ahead and field strip both of the pistols. So with the WE Glock, you have the 2 tabs on both sides which you have to pull down. Make sure you rack the pistol, of course. Make sure the hammer is engaged before you take it apart. Pull those down and just push the slide forward. And then we'll have the upper portion and lower portion of the pistol. And the same with the KJ Glock. Rack it back. It's got the same construction, so same purpose basically. And we'll go ahead and remove that. So put put that to the side, we'll take a look at the slide and compare the two. So internal wise, it looks very, very similar. The hop-up's the same, the recoil spring's basically the same size. The only slight difference in design is, let me focus in for you. You can see that right here, design's a little bit more like inside, and not really protruding into the slide like this one. This one's inside and it's going into the slide's metal a little bit, so that can kind of compromise the structure of the slide maybe throughout time, whereas this one's a little bit more thicker, so it will last a little bit longer. And then again, the hop-up wheel is all the same basically, and going the same with the nozzle. So up on the top is the WE slide, on the bottom is the KJ slide. So the only difference is really the materials that are used for the construction. So again, with KJ up at the top, they use more of the matte design, whereas WE uses the more glossy finish. And you know, I know this is the chrome one, but if we take another one, for example, let me just show you. Here's my G-18. It's a more glossy, shinier material. So that's kind of what the WE is kind of working with when they build these things. Brackets are identical. The end pieces are identical. The barrel size is basically the same as well. The only thing with the WE, which if I can get in here, hold on a second. Inside the WE is a threaded barrel, whereas that one, it's not threaded. It's just a regular barrel. So the perks of the WE is you can mount some kind of a adapter on there and mount a flash hider if you need one, which I wouldn't really recommend it because the outer barrel cannot support all that weight because it's too heavy. Now we'll take a look at the lower frames. So again, both polymer, that's pretty much basic. You can see that this one's a 3rd gen because of the mag release and the stippling is different. This is the 4th gen, bigger mag release, different stippling. So difference right there already. Internal wise, again, you have KJ on top, WE on the bottom. You can see that basically it looks the same. I mean, the only thing color wise is the wheel on the WE Tech is silver and the KJ is more of a black color. The trigger assembly is basically the same. The entire, basically this metal portion is all the same. So this is nice if you're trying to do a build. A lot of these parts are compatible. So if you're, for whatever reason, you have a KJ and you can't find some of the parts, you can just order WE parts, and I think these will work just fine. I mean, these are literally one for one. The housing is even the same dimensions. The mag release basically is the same. I mean, again, just different generations, but the assembly is the same. The slide release is the same. So you know, that makes it a lot easier with getting parts together and putting everything together if something broke. So now we'll do a comparison to see if the WE slide will fit and function on the KJ lower frame. I know this is going to be a weird combo, a chrome slide with a tan lower frame, but you know, this is just for the sake of the video. So let's see. So far it's sliding on pretty smooth. There's no extra friction or nothing like that. We'll see if it allows me to engage it on there. Okay, so I had a solid click. So that means everything locked into place. I can already tell that the lower frame is a little bit longer than the actual slide, so the metal is kind of sitting inside a little bit more. So you can definitely notice that. So I'm going to try to just rack it just to see if it will function. Okay, so it definitely allowed me to do the full motion and actually lock the slide. And it's definitely very smooth for the action. So now we'll go ahead and do a magazine and see how it works. We'll try the WE Tech magazine in the KJ. So, okay, so the magazine definitely racked it and locked it itself. So let's do some dry fire. Huh, that's awesome. So that worked perfectly. No issues. It's very smooth. we'll just do the KJ mag as well, see what happens. Perfect. So that's a pass for that one, so we'll go ahead and just take that back off. Okay. There we go. Okay, awesome. That's a pass. That's really cool, actually, how that works. Now we'll do, this will probably make a little more sense. Black lower frame, WE Gen 4 lower frame, and then KJW frame slide. I'm like confusing myself here. Okay, so conflict number one is it's not letting me put the slide on these top rails here. It's actually not allowing me. I'll put a little force to it, but it does go on, but you're forcing it at that point, which I unfortunately am not going to do just to avoid any damage. But I mean, you can kind of tell the WE slide again was a little bit bigger compared to this one in terms of the dimensions, so it would fit fine on this frame, no problem. It would fit fine, but you know, you would kind of have to force it over these beginning rails here, and then as soon as they make it to this one, you'll probably have to force it again, which will probably break something, and it will just not function correctly. So, you know, that one is a pass, so, you know, or not a pass, a fail, I'm sorry. The KJ slide will not work with the WE Gen 4, but I'm not finished there. Next, what I'm going to try is I have a custom built Glock that is the G-17, which I am going to attempt to use this frame, which is a Gen 3, just to see if it'll work. Why not? Let's see what happens there. So, Gen 3. Okay, this one is a lot smoother, but again, keep in mind, I've sanded the hell out of this when I first built it, so it shouldn't really have any problems, but it's a little tight on the end there. Yeah. It goes on, but I am, like, deathly afraid to click it in, because you know what, screw it. Yeah, no, it's not going to go. I thought it would, but the pins aren't even locking it in. There's probably a piece in there that's a little too long, or something protruding inside. But, I mean, this is what it looks like, and I actually do like the plain finish on this. It looks pretty badass, I'm not going to lie. But, yeah, so that's a KJW upper, and this is actually a Tokyo Marui lower, believe it or not. So I guess we kind of answer that question, that even some of the Tokyo Marui parts will be compatible with the KJ. So I'm gonna go ahead and put this custom one back away. This one's always a fun one to play with. There we go. Okay, put that one back. But yeah, that kind of summarizes this video with compatibility between the WE and the KJW Glock replicas. So it's definitely something interesting. I know it's something that a lot of you guys have asked me about. How compatible are the two? And basically right there is your answer. And the other thing I'd like to add to this is, you know, being that the WE mags are all the same, that does include the extended mag. It'll work just fine for this. Just to prove it, I will put it in for you real quick. And boom, just like that. So that totally works. Nope, I had no gas in there, but that definitely ended up working as well. So to conclude, the KJW is somewhat compatible. But again, if you try to intermix the frames and the upper portion of the pistol, it's not going to work for the KJ slide to the WE frame. It's unfortunate, but I mean, what do you expect? It's two different manufacturers, only so much can be alike. But anyway, I hope you guys did enjoy this video. If you have any other questions pertaining to what I did today, definitely don't hesitate to ask me anything. I'll definitely help out. But that's basically everything I had for you guys. You guys have a good day.